What's up, everybody? It's Josh from WA Production, and today I'm going to be going through how you can create a full song using the Scenes feature in InstaComposer 2. This feature was added as an improvement from the original InstaComposer, and it allows you to create up to 8 scenes, which can be variations of your different generated patterns, and you can make adjustments to each, and it's really great for actually building out an entire track, because that way you can create different sections essentially. So I'm going to show you best practice for how to do that, and we'll get started. So today I'm going to try and make a housey track. I'm going to start by checking out our Deep House for InstaComposer 2 expansion. You can get tons of different expansions on our store in different genres and styles. So why don't we just try this first one, the D minor preset. It comes with a preset pattern here that was generated by this preset, but the real value of having these different presets are the settings, not necessarily the pattern, because otherwise this would just be a MIDI pattern. So the real benefit of these presets are the settings in the various parameters that can be used to generate your own unique patterns from InstaComposer 2, but with similar settings that have been designed specifically for that genre to create sounds in that style. So we can hear what it's already got here as the default. Pretty nice. So yeah, I've loaded in a synth, piano, bass, pads, strings, and drums corresponding to their 6 different channels within InstaComposer 2. I won't be going over sound selection. That's not the point of this tutorial, but I will be showing you how we can create our song using the 8 different scenes that are found along here. So I'm not going to use just the default though. So why don't we select all of our tracks and we can click go to generate a new output for all of them. I'm sure there will be some tweaking involved, but let's have a look and see what it sounds like now. First, I think the bass is a little too low, so let's put that up a couple octaves. So I'm going to keep generating until I get to something that I'm kind of liking, and then we can tweak it from there. That one sounded pretty cool. It's already generated a pretty nice 4 on the floor drum pattern there. I might want to tweak it a little bit to make it sound a little more housey. The chords are pretty nice. The pad and the rhythm aren't overly complex, so they kind of add a little bit nice texture. And then the bass is a pretty solid repetitive groove with a somewhat simple melody. One of the tricks to InstaComposer is definitely finding that balance between complex and simple melodies. You can adjust that by changing the population of sounds, frequency of notes, that kind of thing. You know, if you have those set up too high, then you'll have a really complex kind of chaotic sound. So dialing those in is important, and this has done a good job based on this preset here. So we're going to roll with this. So let's listen to the individual sounds real quick. So I think the one thing I would say is that the drums are a little bit, they could use a little bit more housey hi-hat sort of style. So I'm going to jump into the sounds here. Okay, cool. That's sounding a lot more housey. So now let's listen to that with everything else in there. Cool, sounding better. All right, so now going back to our main view. So I'm pretty content with that, but that's basically, you know, a drop or whatever you want to call it. So now to talk about the real reason why we're doing this video. So we're going to go ahead and create a full song using these scenes. So the first thing I'm going to do is copy a scene and paste it to the second one. So now we've got a duplicate scene in scenes 1 and 2 and nothing in the rest for now. So I'm going to start with an intro. So in the intro, I'm thinking let's silence the drums. We'll mute those. So now we've got this. I definitely think we can mute the bass. We can mute the lead and maybe just start kind of with the piano. Maybe just the piano. Okay, so now I'm going to copy this scene again because I don't want to lose it, but I do want to affect scene 2. So now we've got basically our intro, which will just be the piano. And then we go to scene 2. Now what do we want in scene 2? I'm thinking maybe just a kick drum. So we will go into here. So to do that, what I'll do is I'll hold Command, or on Windows, you would hold Control, I believe, and then right click. And now we can delete all the selected notes. So now we've just got our kick. And so we will leave that. We'll leave our piano. Let's decide what else we want in there. So we'll mute all the rest for now. Let's see, maybe the pad. That's pretty nice. So we'd be going from all right, and then now we're gonna go to scene 3. Again, I'm gonna copy and paste that because I don't want to lose it. So in scene 3, I'm actually going to copy scene 2 and put it on scene 3 just so that we don't have to redo some of the stuff we did already, because I don't want to add in the other drums yet. So we'll leave that like that. So in scene 3, now let's maybe add this guy. Let's hear how that sounds. Scene 1 is going to be the intro. Scene 2 is going to be like a verse. Scene 3 will be, let's say, like a pre-chorus or build. So maybe for that, we actually want to remove something. So I wonder if maybe removing the piano might sound good. And maybe what I'll do is in the drums, I think I will, just for the transition's sake, I'll remove the last bar of the drums. Cool. And then now we get to scene 4 where we will drop everything in. Okay, so now scene 5 will be similar to scene 2 because it's going to be basically like a second verse after the chorus. So why don't we copy that? And we will paste that there. And what I'm thinking is that for this one, since I'd probably want to keep the bass in there now that it's been introduced in the drop, but I don't want it to be as exciting of a bass as in the drop. So why don't we maybe try regenerating that and see if we can come up with something a little simpler. So bass track 3. So right now, so it's pretty exciting. So why don't we drop that down a little bit? We will reduce the population so there are fewer notes. I'm also going to reduce the fill-in as well. So why don't we just generate track 3, which is our bass, and see what that does. There we go. Nice. I didn't want it to be too complicated because this is a verse. I want it to be simple, but reflective of the original sequence in the drop. So why don't we remind ourselves what the drop part sounded like? And now our new verse. Nice. So we've chilled it out a little bit, but we've added a little bit of variety while keeping the same theme. So I definitely like that. That's nice. So now for scene 6, what I want to do is incorporate a bridge. So for that, I'm going to copy over our drop scene again, just so that we can play with all of the pieces. But now I want to change everything a little bit. So I'm going to try generating new chords because I wanted to switch up the feeling for the bridge. So why don't we listen to what that did? That's kind of nice. I like how it switched up the pacing of it as well, the rhythm of the drums and all of that. So why don't we just listen to it in context, because I can hear if it feels like it fits the rest of the song or not. So here is our verse before. I'm going to try something a little bit different. I don't know if I love that chord progression. Nice. I think we might have found it there. This is really nice. It kind of retains a little bit of the original feel, but changes up the chord progression enough to make it sound like a change of pace. So let's hear it in context again. Cool. What I'm going to do is kind of similar to what I did. Since this is going to go right into a drop, given our structure here, I'm going to do the same thing I did before, which is kind of remove the last bit of drums. I'm going to do the same with the bass, just shorten the bass a little bit. All right, and then we're going to copy our drop in one more time. So let's hear how that sounds going right into the drop. Cool, and then for our outro, probably something similar to the beginning. Let me hear. Yeah, I think we could probably do something similar to scene 2. I want to keep that kick drum in there. Okay, I'm also just going to remove the drums as I've done in the others. Let's just do that. Okay, so now we've basically built out a track. So obviously I can go in and automate certain things if I want it to be, I might want to filter in a lead, something like that. I could do that in my DAW to make it, a bit better of a progression throughout the track. But overall, I think we've got a really great start here. So why don't we take a listen to it in real time and see how it goes? And there you have it, our masterpiece built in InstaComposer 2. You can make really any genre with this. You don't have to have the expansion packs, but they do help if you're particularly interested in a specific genre to help get you started with parameters that were designed by our team to be most effective in those genres. So it's a plugin that takes a little bit of learning to really get it down and to understand all the parameters. But once you do, you can create these incredible different patterns that all work nicely together. And not only patterns and loops, but a whole song, as we showed here. Of course, you would probably want to take it, as I said before, into your DAW, add some automations, effects, drum rolls, whatever the heck you want to do, depending on the genre you're in. But you can really legitimately compose an entire track within InstaComposer 2. So I hope you guys found this helpful. Go and play around with the scenes and the different parameters, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys for the next tutorial.